Hello, and welcome back to the Global AI Bootcamp behind the scenes, where we're going to give you some insight into how we set up this amazing conference. The team around me has been on the go since 6 o'clock this morning. I am truly amazed at how well they're doing. And what we're planning on bringing you today is giving you a connection to the organizers from around the world who have set up the sessions in various different locations and how they've gone about that. But we're also going to be introducing you to Microsoft program managers to give you some insights into the Azure AI services which are available to us. But before we go further, I think an introduction is in order for ourselves as well. So hello, I'm Stacey Cashmore.
And I'm Sami. And today we're connecting to South America and we'll meet two community leaders, Louis and Patricio. But before that, let's kick off with meeting a principal program manager at Seattle. Hey, Amira, how are you?
How are you guys? Well, good job from waking up 6 a.m. I'm impressed too. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever anyone is joining and listening in. Welcome.
Thanks for joining already today. We're really grateful you could make some time in your tight schedule also, of course. Please introduce yourself. Who are you, Amira? And what do you do at Microsoft?
Awesome. I'm Amira Youssef. I'm based here in Redmond in the US. I'm a principal program manager at Microsoft for Azure Percept, and I lead the customer success team at scale for our customers and partners.
Okay, sounds quite interesting. So, high level, what is Azure Percept before you go on your session?
Azure Percept is a platform. It's an end-to-end AI solution platform, and I'm really excited to share more details in my session today with you.
Well, I think with that, we just give you the platform, and we're looking forward to learn more about that.
Awesome. Thank you for the opportunity. All right. Well, welcome everyone to the session. I appreciate the time for you listening in. I'm going to walk you through today a couple of things to get you started. I want to share with you about Azure Percept today. I'll start with some customer stories and scenarios. We'll dig deep into Azure Percept, and then we'll get into some of the resources available for you to continue your learning, and we'll close with some Q&A. With that, let's get started. So I'll start first with some customer stories and scenarios to set the scene for you. I'll start with the scenario. It's a safety scenario at sea. As you could see, it's an oil and gas industry, and this is an offshore oil platform. So ocean drilling is very hazardous, as you can imagine. It's a very complex environment, complex machinery, high wind, poor visibility, low connectivity. So as you can imagine, everything has to be at the edge. It has to be local. Especially with the low bandwidth connectivity to the cloud, low latency loop is very needed. The event occurring, observing, alerting, and acting on it, it really has to be at the edge. And really with our technology, we can identify safety scenarios like a worker under heavy load machine in motion to be identified. So again, as you can imagine, this is a complex scene. If you look at the blue crane in the middle of the screen, there's actually a person underneath there. And through the alerting, it's fired and we can act on it that there is a worker underneath this heavy object, and please watch out as a safety caution. And this is an example of a low latency loop scenario. So this is a really crucial scenario, and it can be extended in many different industries, such as manufacturing, automotive, etc. So with that, AI scenarios are for every kind of business, whether you can think of manufacturing, energy, smart places, connective automotive, retail, healthcare. really the possibilities are endless. And most of our customers we speak to have scenarios either around people or vehicle detection, and you can extend to any industry you may have. My slides are not advanced. So for here at Microsoft, we're focusing on two main industries, retail and manufacturing. It doesn't mean we're not looking into other industries, but these are their main focus priorities. So for retail, for example, shelf analytics is very important. Is when do you need to restock your produce? Are they going bad? You know, really kind of understand real time and make real business decisions based on this technology. For manufacturing, for example, where predictive maintenance and factory safety protocols can be implemented by monitoring a workplace environment with sensors and with Azure Percept, this is possible. So I just wanted to set the scene with you in terms of bringing to life the different use cases you can use our technology before digging into the technology. And with that, I want to kind of get into the details with you about Azure Percept. So to set the context for you, really, according to IDC, worldwide IT infrastructure spending over the next 5 years, it's estimated to have 300 billion will be spent by major hyperscale cloud providers in the next 5 years. And the cloud, as we know, will always continue to grow. And just to put that in context and comparison, it's estimated to have 1.5 trillion to be spent on the edge. And this will be driven by data sovereignty, locality, and latency. So there's three main drivers for this growth. So to start with, the first one is modernizing edge infrastructures. So company choosing to modernize their technology, their edge infrastructure, especially virtualized workloads. This will lower the costs, increase the agility running IT workloads at the edge. The second is 5G. 5G 4G benefited customers over the last 5 years. And maintaining ad hoc Wi-Fi networks is really complex. So replacing it with 5G antennas achieve high bandwidth, secure, scalable networks, which equals better signal. And the third driver is Edge AI. And this is the main focus of our session today with Azure Percept. And we believe Edge AI, Azure Percept will be the main driver for digital transformation. And with Azure Percept, you can provide real-time insights for your business and drive business decisions faster and more real-time. So just to recap, the three main drivers for this growth that we're going to see over the next 5 years is driven by modernized edge infrastructure, edge 5G, and edge AI. With that, let's why was Azure Percept created? And really in the past, Edge AI was complicated. You had so many choices, AI introduced lots of complexity, and we really have simplified the experience for you. There's three main components for Azure Percept: hardware reference design and the development kit for rapid prototyping. Full integrated experiences from the bottom to the top of the stack. And we'll scale through our partners' ecosystem from the hardware and software. So with Azure Percept, we've lowered the time to develop for you. We've lowered the complexity for you. And with that, we increase the opportunities to differentiate and to monetize for you. So Azure Percept is an edge intelligence from sensor to service. Azure Percept is a fully integrated, easy-to-use platform with added security for creating edge AI solutions. We've designed Azure Percept so you can start prototyping in minutes with hardware accelerators that integrate seamlessly with Azure AI and Azure IoT services. This can work with brown and greenfield sensors for you. And ultimately, Azure Percept is a comprehensive edge AI platform. It's simple to build and manage, and it's designed with modern security in mind. And with that, I want to show you a bit more about the product. So Azure Percept Dev Kit, as you could see in the screen, has three main components. And I've got some hardware here with me. So you could see this is the Azure Percept Trust module. It's got an ARM processor and Mariner Linux OS, and really provides the end-to-end management security. The second one that I have here is the Azure Percept Vision. As you could see, it's got an RGB sensor and it's got this magnetic plate here. It's got a built-in VPU, Intel Movidius Myriad X, and there's a 180-degree locking hinge, so you can adjust your camera accordingly to where you would like. And it also has the Azure Percept audio, and it's got an LDE RGB sensor also. So this Azure Percept Dev Kit is available in 16 markets, Canada, UK, EU, Australia, and Japan. We plan to add more markets in the future. They have to go through approval certifications for each market first before launching, and we could ship to Colombia and Puerto Rico also. So we've looked at the hardware. So looking at the Azure Percept Studio, you can access Azure Percept Studio through the Azure portal. It really brings everything together. It's easy to navigate. It has a user-friendly UI. You can discover your device. You could manage your device. You can update your models. And you really could start with the no code with sample solutions and then jump into the advanced code if you're an advanced seasoned developer also. So both options are available. This is the out-of-the-box experience. It's pre-trained to train recognize common objects. You plug it in and you see the web stream immediately, and you see the AI output in 10 minutes. So you only need 15 to 20 images for the no-code solution using custom vision, which then you can harness and build your AI models yourself. So as I started my session with the three drivers, and one of the drivers of this transformation is 5G. So we really believe the intersection of 5G and AI at the edge will unblock new value for you. You can deploy anywhere, you could reduce on-prem hardware footprint, you could reduce deployment costs. There's a lot of benefits when we look at the intersection between AI and 5G. So Azure Percept supports all the cellular technologies. You can start building your solution today using fast and reliable 5G. And we have a link here that will drop in the chat for you guys to access to learn more about the 5G connectivity. So I started my session with the C scenario, oil and gas industry, oil rig. And we have many more examples here. And what I'm showing on this screen is real world scenarios. These are scenarios that our customers, partners blogged about on our IT community. So I would encourage you to all look at it and kind of engage and understand more about the different use cases. But you could see that there is different industries. For example, the first is in a smart city where they leveraged Azure Percept Percept to monitor, are people wearing masks in the street during the pandemic? The second scenario was monitoring the traffic and understanding what are the peak times and whether they're cars or bicycles or even pedestrians during that time. There's also worker safety scenarios just to avoid in such high. And there's many more examples that I would encourage you to read and get inspiration. So one of the scenarios that I want to kind of discuss a little bit more, this is in the fresh produce, and this is a big problem in retailers. Fresh produce degradation is a big problem. And for us, when we look at this technology, there's really unique insights when you combine time and AI. You could understand as like when you need to restock your bananas, when are they going bad, and really kind of generate real-time insights from your business and create more value. This was using a semantic segmentation. It's an open source model. The AI model is available for you. It's at aka.ms/volumetric AI. And it's trained for bananas, but you can change it for any other product. But that's one of the examples and use cases that you could leverage for your business. The second is an example for AI for good in agriculture. So on the image on the left-hand side, you could see there's a camera where Azure Percept is capturing the images of the bird, the endangered bird. And on the right-hand side, it's the output where the bird is recognized and detected. And the beauty of this is where I was showing you the two examples. This is actually the no code using custom vision, and it's only using trained 15 to 20 images, and the model is detected, and you can detect as you could see on the screen. So really, this is the beauty of it. So I've ran quickly through this presentation to give you a quick overview of what Azure Percept is like from the hardware experiences, what are the use cases to bring to life. But I also want to cover with you today on where are we going forward, and some other recent updates and announcements that I'm excited to share with you today. So as I said, we've shared about the Azure Percept Dev Kit Vision Audio. Again, it's available today. Okay. And public preview. And the second product for us that we've announced in Ignite is Azure Percept on Azure Stack HCI, which is currently in private preview. So this is the session that we've announced it. If you're interested to learn more about the upcoming product portfolio, please view the main session, which we share the details and also what our partners, NVIDIA and Data Robot, talked about the product for the upcoming announcement. So definitely don't miss it. But with that, to give you just a little bit, what is Azure Percept on Azure Stack HCI? Azure Percept, it's ultimately a virtual machine plus HCI hardware, which makes it a gateway virtual appliance. And with our end-to-end AI story and existing solution, we believe this is a better together story and providing that end-to-end solution. So you can still deploy your AI workload in minutes on existing Azure Stack HCI devices. It's integrated from Azure Stack HCI catalog that is powered by an NVIDIA GPU. And on the right-hand side, the image is small, but this is basically the certified catalog. And you could click on the link and we'll drop it in the chat for you to know what are the certified devices. And coming soon, we'll have a checkbox that will kind of talk about Edge AI compatible devices, so you have peace of mind to buy devices that are compatible to your hardware. So in case you don't know what is the Azure Certified Program, it's really it's for you to easy scale to production with devices that known for you to work. It will lower the cost of building and scaled solutions for you. You can quickly select, purchase, deploy with trusted devices with peace in mind. And these are devices are tested that you know it's going to work with Azure Percept in our solution. And there is a link here if you want to learn more about the program, aka.ms/certified home. So this will give you peace of mind that you know the technology is working. So with that, I wanted to show you a demo of the Azure Percept Studio, and this is for the upcoming product launch. And let's look at the demo.
Whether you're new to AI models and prefer walkthrough guidance, or an advanced developer looking to quickly deploy, Azure Percept Studio enables you to easily get started prototyping your Edge AI business solution. For this tutorial, we will demonstrate how quickly you can create a pilot solution and deploy it to Azure Stack HCI. We are here in the Azure Percept Studio and have already onboarded an Azure Percept VM using Windows Admin Center. Next, we will create a solution. We start by creating a solution by providing a name and description. We then connect it to an Azure Stack HCI device where it is deployed to an Azure Percept VM. You'll notice that both Azure Video Analyzer and Azure Spatial Analysis are fully integrated. We can easily configure resources to orchestrate the pipeline of devices, cameras, and models. Next, click Create. And now we can easily add a camera. Simply click Add Cameras and enter the camera's RTSP URL, along with your credentials. Tapping Add will show the camera details and a static thumbnail view. We can add multiple cameras to a solution by following the same steps. Now that we have 2 cameras added, click on the camera thumbnail to see the live stream, and click Apply AI Skill to see a pre-populated library of Azure Spatial Analysis skills. There are 3 skills available. People counting in an area for scenarios such as queue management or end cap displays. People count that cross a line to measure things such as store occupancy or people detection when entering or exiting an area. For this tutorial, we are going to select people counting in an area. Now let's configure the AI skill by drawing a polygon in the area around the checkout line. Once it is drawn, tap Deploy, and the solution is deployed to the Azure Stack HCI device that we selected before. And just like that, we have inferencing results on our camera stream. Now, let's click on the Insight tab where we can see some basic insights and alerts built in. For instance, we can configure an alert as an SMS to be sent to the store operator when the queue is too long. The results can also be streamed to Power BI to visualize the data in real time from across the store. We are excited to see what you will do with the power of Azure Percept. To learn more, visit our documentation and community page in the Azure Percept Studio portal.
Great. So as you could see, Azure Percept Studio is very easy to use, and you can deploy your solution in minutes. So as we could see in the demo, we leverage spatial analysis skills. So you could analyze the time spent in a queue, vehicle detection, dangerous zone detection, and trespass detection. These are the AI skills. As I said, this was the announcement we made at Microsoft Ignite. Feel free to go over the sessions for more details. I wanted to give you a quick overview here, and we have a couple of launch partners with NVIDIA, Lenovo, and many other more that are supporting us. The one part I really wanted to highlight is that there is an upcoming session for GTC coming up, and if you want to learn at the latest, news, please join us at that GT session. That's next week. We'll have the latest updates from Azure Percept, so definitely don't miss it out. I highly recommend it. You'll enjoy the session. So kind of we're coming to a close, and I want to give you guys 5 minutes of Q&A, but I went over what Azure Percept is today. The development kit is available for you. The hardware and experience is available. We shared about the Ignite announcement for Azure Percept on Azure Stack HCI, and don't miss out that GTC session. But with that, in 20 minutes, we can share a limited amount of time, but I wanted to share with you that there's lots of resources for you. You can learn through many different areas here, and we'll share it in the chat for you to get connected and learn more. And I will close with a call to action. I'd love to hear from you about your experiences with Azure Percept. Feel free to check our blog at aka.ms/Percept community blog. And if you're interested, please write a blog about your experience with Azure Percept. And otherwise, reach out for me at my LinkedIn. And with that, I'll hand it over for the organizers for some Q&A.
Hey, thank you very much. That was an awesome amount of information that we just got through in 25 minutes.
Exactly. I have one question. Might be a strange question, but you have the Azure Percept. Would I be able to hang it, for example, on a drone and take it up into the air, so battery powered? Or I'm even thinking of like a weather balloon and taking it up all the way into space. Would it be possible?
Absolutely.
Or did someone actually do it already?
Yes, actually, we already have in the IT community blog an example about a drone. So that is possible. That actually connected Azure Percept on a drone and proved out his use case, and also powered it with a battery. So that is possible, and it was. And we'll share the resource for you guys to get connected and learn more. So, and on that note, I really am passionate about Azure Percept because the possibilities are endless of what you could do with this technology, whether you're an experienced AI developer or not. There's flavors for everyone to get started with their proof of concept.
Yeah. You gave a lot of examples of the Percept with the camera. You also have the audio hardware. What are some use cases with that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for now, the offering for the audio is for mainly speech. For non-speech is still on the roadmap in terms of capabilities. But there is a lot of, for example, in the safety scenarios, if someone fell and is asking for help, that is also possible that the audio will pick up and then alert folks for this scenario. So there's many other, but as of now, the capabilities are mainly focused around speech, but not all sound, and it's on our roadmap.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, going back to the drone and the weather balloon scenario. I want to put a Lego man on this now and send it into space because, of course.
That creates awesome videos.
Yes. But are there any, or what are the limitations for connectivity? Because being able to power the device is one thing, being able to talk to it is something else.
For the connectivity, we can connect through Wi-Fi and 5G capabilities, and also the batteries. So these are the three options that you can power up, because especially in remote cases, especially in agriculture, that's a common question that we get from that industry, that it's usually remote. So we definitely also have a blog post about the battery connection power supply that you can power up in such scenarios.
Okay. Awesome.
Cool. So does the Percept have the same offline capabilities like an Azure IoT device?
So for some of the capabilities, yes, there's a lot of inferencing on the edge that happens, and the IoT edge is integrated in our platform. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think the last question that really springs out to me, that studio looks fantastic. I mean, whenever I'm trying out new technology, I love to be able to just jump straight in and not have to do a whole load of research first. What hardware is supported for using that studio?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So as of now, obviously what is available in the market is Azure Percept DK. Coming up soon is the Azure Percept on Azure Stack HCI. And in the future, we're looking into adding more hardware capabilities. So watch that space.
For sure we
Will
will.
do.
That.
And well, I think unfortunately we're out of time. That was a fantastic half an hour. Thank you so much for spending the time with us and sharing that with us. And yeah, I wish you. I'm guessing I wish you a good morning still, or am I wishing you a good afternoon yet?
Yeah,
Still
so
good
she
morning.
Still good morning.
Still have a nice day of work going on.
Yes.
Yes, and thank you for having me. And feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. Love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Thank you too.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, bye.
See you next time.
Thank you.
So from Seattle, we're going now a little bit lower down, and we're going to South America. And with this, we welcome Luis and Patricio.
Hey.
Hey.
How are you?
Hello,
Good.
Tracy. Hello,
It's
Sammy.
probably
How are
also
you
good
doing?
morning for you guys, eh? Or almost
Yeah.
afternoon.
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 Okay,
All
good
right.
afternoon.
Yes. Well, I am in the same time zone that you. I because I live in Europe as well. But yeah.
Okay.
So evening.
Then good evening. Yes.
Yes.
Luis, let's start with you. Introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do in your day-to-day work life?
Yes. So hello everyone. My name is Luis Beltran. I am a Microsoft MVP in artificial intelligence and developer technologies. I am from Mexico, although currently I am based in Czech Republic. I am a researcher at Thomas Bata University in Zlín. I am pursuing my PhD as well in engineering informatics. My main, let's say, topic is about artificial intelligence, face detection, emotion recognition. So we do a lot of deep learning. We build our own models. Also, as part of my duties, I teach. So this is a good experience for me because, well, when I was in Mexico, I worked as a university lecturer, and definitely I enjoy teaching because I learn from the students. Nowadays, students have a lot of questions. They want to learn the new technologies or trends. So it is some kind of duty for us to also be updated and work with these technologies. I am passionate about mobile development with Xamarin or .NET technologies, cloud computing, and of course, artificial intelligence. So yeah.
That's nice.
Thank you. And Patricio, maybe I hope I'm saying your name well enough. I apologize if I am not. Could you introduce yourself first too, please?
Sure, absolutely. And Patrice is perfectly well said. Yes, so I'm Patricio Cofre. I live in Santiago, Chile. I am a Ernst & Young partner here in Santiago, Chile, and I lead a data and AI practice for Chile and some other countries in Latin America. I'm MVP and regional director from starting in 2016. And this is something that fills me a lot in developing communities here in Latin America. I've been working with Luis in several events and several other leaders here in Latin America. So very happy to join, very happy to speak with you and share experiences.
Can I ask you one thing, Patricio? You said you're a regional director. We've had already a couple of MVPs in our previous episodes. What's the difference with the regional director, or what especially do they do?
Sure. The regional director program try to to create a group that is focusing a little bit more on audience like governments, like CXOs in large corporations. So our role is to provide early feedback to Microsoft on the products, on the impact of the decisions, on the policies, etc. So we are asked frequently to provide the feedback.
Yeah. Okay, that's very interesting. Now we're here at the Global AI. What's the first time? How did you connect with the Global AI community?
Luis, do you want to go first?
Okay, yeah, sure. I think it was 2 years ago or 3 probably. I heard that there was some group or community that was organizing events around the world. So I checked the website, globalai.community, and then I saw, well, okay, I am far from my hometown. I was already here studying, and I said, well, even though I am far away, let's try to do something online. I asked the community, the organizers, can I set up something online? They said, yes, sure, go ahead. Okay, so I connected. I met Hank. I met other community leaders or global AI community leaders. It was really awesome. I really felt like it was quite easy to reach a lot of leaders to learn from their experiences. So I might check, but probably my first event that I organized was the Global AI Nights or Global AI Bootcamp, which basically aims to connect with the community so they can learn, they can acquire knowledge from other students, from other community members, and also from experts, MVPs, Microsoft FTEs. So yeah, it was. I think it was the first time we organized something like that, and I really enjoyed the experience.
Okay, and you, Patricia?
Yeah, no, excellent. We have been linked for now several years. We started in the face-to-face world pre-pandemic. In getting a lot of support from the AI community. Actually, the platform is nice. It allows us to organize much faster and basically to connect. It's easier to find speakers in other places and fulfill the registration, share a nice link in a beautiful map, etc. And also from the Microsoft Office that all the time we're very open to receive ourselves, to put some catering and allow our activities. Now in the digital world, we have been reshaping our events to comply and to be able to keep delivering sessions. So it has been a while. It has been a few years working together.
Okay, I think that's a really nice segue to the next question, which I have. You say you started in the real world, and then the last 2 years, the real world kind of disappeared a little bit while we all went indoors. What impact has that had, and what changes did you make in order to try and keep the interaction with your attendees?
Yes. Luis, do you want to?
Yeah, sure. Well, in my case, as I said before, I was a bit used to organize online events, so it was not difficult to switch. Although it is true that I organized a couple or probably 3 events here in Czech Republic, one at our university, one at the Microsoft office in Prague. But for me, it was not complicated at all. Actually, probably in our first online events, we even gained a lot of participation, a lot of active engagement from community members. It was like normal. I mean, probably we can compare this with like the computer programmers. Like, okay, you can work everywhere. All you need probably is access to your computer, laptop. It doesn't matter if you are at the office, if you are outside, if you are, I don't know, at some coffee shop, you can still work. So Yeah, but still, of course, we miss after 2 years. We always talk with friends, with our community as well. We really miss meeting in person. Even when I traveled back to Mexico for a month or so during holidays, we tried to organize or to meet, but well, it was not possible. So that's the part I really miss. Hopefully, the situation will improve this year. We will see. But yeah, in my case, or in our case, it was not a challenge at all.
Okay, it's can I ask one follow-up question to that? Because you say your first online event, you had more engagement. Did you do something specifically that got that more engagement?
Not at all. Probably because, well, now a lot of community members have, let's say, free time. Like instead of attending some on-site events, well, there was this option. So yeah, I never wonder why, but it was quite common to start seeing the community leaders taking the role, the lead role, and organizing events. I mean, during this pandemic situation. So yeah, I guess not at all.
Okay, thank you.
That's good to hear. For you, Patricio.
Yeah, from in the upside, definitely in Latin America, we have the good thing that we, except for Brazil, we all share the same language. So it's easier to in the online world to get attendees from all Latin America. So we
So
started.
your events were
receiving
not in English?
No,
Okay.
no, in Spanish. In
Okay.
Spanish, yeah, I think all of them has been in Spanish. So we have been receiving people from Argentina, from Mexico, from Colombia, etc. So definitely the number grew. But in the downside, probably we have challenged a little bit more on developing workshops, for example, on a hands-on experience that a little bit harder to follow up in the digital in the online version. So this has been a challenge. We already we still have the challenge. We have spoke of some options with Luis. We are thinking on new activities that I think we can deliver.
So you've been working together on events, if I'm correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How do you work together?
No, very good, very good. And actually, me and Luis have been in a motivating new leaders. Actually, I mean, Luis now is in his PhD studies. I have a lot of work as well, and we are trying to give more power to new talents and community leaders.
Okay, that's really nice.
Yes, definitely the engagement with, for example, student ambassadors from Bolivia, for example, from Mexico. It is also a nice experience that we can connect, that we can get some help from them. So thank you very much to them. They have participated even as speakers. This is something really amazing because, as I said earlier, students nowadays are very active. They are very eager to learn. And of course, speaking in front of some computer might be probably less challenging than in front of on-site audience. So this can definitely help. But of course, there is a lot of, when we organize some event, there is a lot of, let's say, background work, like getting speakers, sponsors, and also, how to say, like spreading the news about these events. So it's a lot of work, but we are not alone. So that's the coolest thing.
Okay. Now, Luis, you already said that you didn't really have issues with the attendance of interaction and so on. Patricio, was that an issue for you during the virtual events? And how did you try to get more interaction from the attendees? Question to Patricio, sorry.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I see that today we are in front of a huge challenge on capturing more talent, and many people needing to reskill, especially to AI, for example, that is infusing all industries like healthcare, like accounting, etc. You name it. I mean, all industries are willing to get into this, and there are a lot of online resources to learn, and MOOCs are good. But you didn't get the experience until you put your hands on, until you get some experience. So in my opinion, the communities feel a very important missing link in the whole chain, is in providing opportunities to run a demo, to run a collaboration, to find know who is who knows who, etc. So I think we have a very, very decisive mission on these days, that people we are needing. There are many people in our events, for example. Sometimes we have a dentist showing up to our events. Sometimes we have an accountant, and so on. And they are really willing. They are doing the online courses, but they will become a talent. They will become a resource for projects and actually to apply to a new job once they get some experience, and they are not getting the experience yet in their jobs. So I think we can do more. I've suggested to do data challenges with Luis. We have been working on an online format for workshops and so on. So there's a lot to do, a lot of ideas, and hopefully we want to work with this with the global AI community.
It sounds amazing.
I'm starting to wonder what a dentist would do with AI knowledge. What would he automate?
Definitely, there's
as an accountant, I can totally understand, but as a dentist, might be some interesting things that come out of that.
Yes, trauma from the dentist as a teenager is stopping me from thinking about that.
Yes, one of the great tools or technologies that we can use with for example, with the Microsoft technology is the cognitive services. Sometimes you don't need to be an AI expert. I always say that you transform your machine learning or artificial intelligence task into a development problem, because you need to, for example, analyze some image. So you can just prepare a request, of course, add some security, send it, and the pre-trained model from Microsoft will get the result for you. So, and of course, there are other technologies where you don't even have to develop anything. There are like Power Apps, for example, or AI Builder. And again, everyone that's, let's say, can be part of this artificial intelligence movement. So that's something really amazing, because nowadays the technology and of course the society is demanding solutions for lots of things. So we need students, we need to learn from different points of views or perspectives, even from, of course, accountant, managers, dentists, doctors, because they are real life users of this technology.
Domain expertise.
Yes,
domain expertise.
Yes, domain
this is what's completely needed. Is a missing link. As I said, there's a lot of technology. There's a lot of learning resources. But what we need right now is experts from the industry, experts from the use case, and definitely to do more on providing activities and opportunities to apply.
Yeah, fully agree. As technical persons, we might know how to do everything, but how can we bring it into the real world and make it as very useful and create, for a company ROI? That's the most important part.
How do you know you're solving the right problem?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Very interesting.
Yeah, and I have a question about the workshops, just to backtrack ever so slightly. Because there's something I've been trying to work out in my head. Whenever I've done workshops with a group of people in person, Everybody always struggles with one part or a different part, and being able to walk up to them is just, it makes life a lot easier. Obviously, in the online world, we're not going to be able to do that in a workshop. How have you coped with this so far?
Well, sometimes if there is some time, like, okay, we are moving through the workshop, and if there are some questions like, okay, I could not install this tool, or I am receiving this like error message, well, we can kind of manage our time and probably try to help. Of course, unexpected things might happen. So yeah, we can try to dedicate like 5-10 minutes and then try to move on. One of the, let's say, advantages is that, okay, the workshop, probably the content is already online. You can follow later on at your own pace the instructions. But of course, getting the experience directly from the speaker, from the presenter, is like the best part. So definitely it is a challenge. We try to I think the most important thing is time management. If you feel that you might spare 5-10 minutes solving some issue, or even those errors can be part of the learning experience, because probably when you are there, okay, everything works perfectly, nicely, but now later, let's say you want to create some proof of concept, or you want to do it on your own, you get some errors. So of course, as I said, these mistakes that happen can also be used as part of the learning experience. Always, also, we try to provide our contact details in case like something happens. Okay, probably we also have some time, so we can set up a meeting and help. I think that willing to be helpful or to be part of the community is some kind of donating part of your time if you want to do, or if you have some time or the resources to do it. So yeah, let's say we tried to do it in some different ways that we are not used to do, like on-site or at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And for you, Patricio?
Yeah, and I completely agree on flipping the classroom. Definitely, we don't need to now to spend too much time in giving sessions content, because this is there's a lot of resources, and probably that can explain it better than me or Luis or whoever. And try to spend more time on the demo, on a real hands-on experience. We haven't had yet too much experience, but one thing that I think might work is to do breakout rooms and try to find peer support. I mean, you cannot attend all the groups and bring some ideas, but if you create a 5 people small room, probably they can help each other, share how they solve the error, and eventually try to escalate in the chat if something is out of the knowledge of the whole subgroup.
Okay. All right. So we discussed a bit of the past. What are your plans for the coming year about events that you're going to organize, Patricia?
Yeah, and now we have scheduled for the 25th our event here in Santiago, Chile. It will be completely online. We have engaged with all the MVPs in the country, so
Nice.
we expect it to be a beautiful event. And looking forward, I think we need to keep advancing on this workshop idea. We have a lot of definitions, a lot of a platform to try, but in conversations with you, so we can align and do it better.
Okay. And for you, Liz?
Yes, in my case, well, I probably will also continue with an online event. We are looking forward to some event focused on students. So students can share their experience on data science, neural networks, or artificial intelligence in general. We are planning some event in summer. So we will see how it goes. Most probably it will be online, and we will try to reach out students from Latin America or who speak Spanish. So we can also, of course, consider people from Spain. Although 2 months ago, when we organized our event, we also had or got a nice feedback and experience because we had some sessions in English. We got speakers from Portugal, from Australia, from Nigeria. So it was really nice. It was really interesting. Of course, this can also be a bit challenging for some community members. But something I really like is that some of the speakers saw this in advance and they turned on the captions, the subtitles, so it was automatically translated to Spanish. This is something cool that, for example, Microsoft Teams can help with.
+1 for accessibility.
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely. Yes, so we are also, of course, considering the ethical part or the accessibility part not only as a session or talking about accessibility, but also applying. And what's the best way? Of course, that our event is accessible to everyone. So yeah, we will think of sessions in Spanish, but of course we will probably get some speakers, international speakers from who speak English, and we will enable this capability to make this inclusive event. So yeah, that's the idea, and we know it will be a success because we count with the support of the global AI community and other leaders.
Well,
Fantastic.
I
It's
think
also
that's
an awesome everyday use of AI.
exactly, and it's a beautiful ending for this episode.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, both.
Indeed, we're wishing you all the best with the the work you're still doing, all the efforts you're putting, all the time that you do for the community. So thank you very much, and we hope to see you back another time.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
All right,
Yeah,
Patricia,
thank you.
Luis,
Have a good
have a
evening.
good day. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So that was it, our third episode. Third, right?
Third episode.
It's getting a long day. But we're here in 2 hours for a fourth episode where we're going a little bit more up now. We're going to North America, where we're going to have another 2 great community leaders and another Microsoft program manager. So we're looking forward also to meet you there. If not in 2 hours, you can still also watch it afterwards on recording. So thanks for joining us today, and hope to see you soon again.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.